Hi everyone, I was here because I wanted to talk about postpartum depression, and this is a topic from the Young Moms Unite. We are all doing it for April, so I wanted to share my thoughts and my experience with postpartum depression. First of all, I do believe in postpartum depression. I think that it is very real and can be very serious, especially in unplanned pregnancies or less than ideal situations when a birth experience doesn't go as planned, or maybe even like when a breastfeeding experience doesn't go as planned. I know that it can be very serious, and some people need therapy and other things to help contain it, and then milder cases they can get through it alone. um, I know that it is different from like the baby blues, whereas when you have feelings of sadness maybe for a week or two but then it goes away on its own. um, and then there's kind of a gray area where like it lasts a lot longer. Maybe you're not thinking about hurting your baby or anything, but your depression lasts a lot longer and it is all related, where I think that that might be still a mild form of postpartum depression. So let me just go and tell about my experiences. With Evelyn, I did have some mild, what I would say was mild postpartum depression. First, it started like during my pregnancy. I kind of had, I guess, prenatal depression, but it was related to the fact that Stephen was gone with the Air Force, and he was gone from the time I was about 10 weeks pregnant until Evelyn was 6 weeks old. So that's a long time. He pretty much missed the whole experience. Like when he left, I wasn't even showing, and when he got back, he had a 6-week-old baby. So that's a pretty huge change, and we did get to see each other throughout the time and whatnot, but during my pregnancy, I stayed with family, and I think that I kind of got depressed because I was working a lot of hours, but I was going home to a place that wasn't my home, and it was, crowded, and I couldn't just like do what I wanted to. I was an adult living with, you know, family, and I didn't like it really. I mean, as much as I love my family, it just was not ideal. And I wasn't able to like get a baby's room ready the way I wanted to. I wasn't able to like really prepare the way that I wanted to, and my husband wasn't there to really experience it with me. So I was upset about that, and it started then. And then when I did have Evelyn, originally I didn't want to induce. I wanted to try to go natural. And when it came down to it, Stephen was going to be back for only one weekend. And we decided to go ahead and induce so that he could be there for the experience, which to this day I am glad that we did, because I'm glad he was there, but it was less than ideal for us, and it was not what I wanted. So I went in at like 8 at night on a Thursday, and I didn't have her until nearly 6 p.m. on Saturday. So if you can imagine, that is a very long process to be sitting at the hospital. And my husband actually got there Saturday morning. So I thought that I'd have the baby by the time he got there and he could spend time with his daughter, but I was still in labor. I actually was still in early labor when he got there. And finally, I had her pretty quickly. But since he was there, I kind of had guilt, and I felt like, well, Steven's only going to be here for 2 days, and then he's not going to get to see her again. So I let him do everything pretty much. Like I just was trying to nurse her. But other than that, like Steven held her the whole time. Steven, changed her diapers and did all of that stuff. And because I wanted him to have that time with her, because I felt like, I would have that time, and I didn't want to take that away from him, the only little time that he did have. So in essence, I created kind of a distancing from my own baby, and I didn't really feel bonded to her at all. And when we got back to where I was staying, nothing really changed because Stephen left and went back to his duty and stuff, but I still had that guilt for everyone else, and I felt like, I knew we were going to be moving, and like as soon as he got done in like 6 weeks, I knew we were going to be moving, so I felt bad for my family. So then, my whole family, every time they, wanted her, wanted to hold her, wanted to do this and that, I let them, and I didn't really have hardly any time with my own baby because I had visitors and I had, everyone wanting to hold her and love on her, and I wanted to let them because I felt like, I'm going to have my whole life with her and we're going to be moving and they're not going to see her very often, and I wanted them to be able to bond with her too. But once again, I created this distancing. So I went through a time where I just, I felt like I shouldn't be a mom. I felt like, she wasn't even mine. Like, I don't know. I felt like very upset and I didn't feel connected to her. And when breastfeeding failed, I felt like a failure then too, and something must be wrong with me, and I was just very upset, and I was doing it alone. I was a first-time mom, and I had to do everything by myself as far as like middle of the night stuff. But then during the day, I didn't get to do any of the fun stuff. I didn't get to play with her. I didn't get to, just enjoy her being a newborn because I was letting everyone else do that. And I just had her for, trying to breastfeed and getting really, really sore nipples and, staying up all night and all that stuff. And, it was several weeks. Like, I think it was close to when Stephen got back, when I finally was like, realized, oh my goodness, I don't know my baby. I don't know her. She doesn't like me. I felt like she didn't like me the whole time, but I realized, like, no, I'm not just making this up. She legitimately doesn't like me, and it's because she doesn't really know me. I mean, that's how I felt, and, I think it's true. I don't think she really knew me because I wasn't spending any, like, quality time with her, and so I kind of was kicking myself, and I finally realized what was going on, and finally I was like, I can't let this go on. I can't allow this to happen. Like, she's my baby. I am going to be with her the rest of this time. And if she's not bonded to me, we're going to have all kinds of problems. So I ended up kind of towards the end of my stay there when she was like 5-6 weeks old. I was like, no, I'm going to spend time with my baby. No, you can't come over. Like, I started turning people away more often and holding her more often, and I started like redoing skin to skin, which I hadn't done since she was breastfeeding, and I quit breastfeeding her when she was less than a week old. So, I mean, I started redoing that, and I had to really work to bond with her again. And, oh, Josiah's waking up. All right, anyways, where I was, I did have a hard time with Evelyn, and it wasn't easy, and I was depressed. I had to get through it, and luckily with Josiah, look how huge he is, thing went really smoothly, and I didn't worry about it, and I didn't have any like postpartum depression with him, and I am so thankful for that. But it happens sometimes, and you just gotta work through it, like whether you can just, like I did, say, okay, I have to change something and I need to make this better, or if it's more serious and you have to get therapy or whatever you have to do, just do it, because things are so much better once you can get past that. Excuse you. But it is hard and it is a struggle, and I understand that, and I just hope that that all you mommies can get through it if it's something you go through. And so leave your comments and thoughts below and let me know what you think, and if you experienced it, or like if you did a Young Moms Unite video, let me know, and I'd love to watch yours. And, you know, if you like this video, like it and subscribe if you want to, and we will see you in our next video. Bye!